Hello everybody, this is Tariq L1. This video to present a quick demo for Nikto. What is Nikto? One of those popular web vulnerability scanner. It can execute multi things. It start from hosts, start from multi-hosts at once. Um, you can use it to scan a specific port if you want to. It help with many things. It help with XSS, help with the SQL injection, and many things. However, as I have seen that for most universities and especially the undergrad universities, they usually focus on simple labs. Simple labs means like you how to do basic Nikto scanning. So to do so, Nikto can scan any URL or IP address or bunch of IP addresses. However, that can put you into a legal problem. If you try to scan some website, they may think that you actually preparing for hacking, and it can put you into a problem. So to practice, there are few websites, demo websites. It's you can find something for example, like scan me on nmap.org. And there are quite few websites as well you can practice with. However, for labs and tutorials, we do recommend that you install some of those machines, VM machines, variable machines already. You can download those ones, the OWASP broken web apps. Download that one, install it over here, and you will find yourself safe to practice regardless. So, for example, to implement that demo, I have installed Kali Linux, and that Kali Linux would come with the IP 192.168.58.130. Then the OWASP ones, the one which is the project of OWASP, that came with 138. To be able to see what's on that machine, let me just take you over here to 138. Here it is. That's the actual project of that WASP. If you want to read more about that, the broken application, or if you want the training applications, if you want the vulnerability, the old vulnerability, and many applications here as well for testing and so on. If you want to go to the home, if you want to download that machine specifically, you can get it from the source fork and many issue as well. Even you can go to the home as well here and so on. For now, let's run few basic scanning web services and see how it goes when it works. Remember that the target machine is 138. Usually we start with ask students to be familiar with, if you have Nikto already on the machine, yes. If you don't, just update your machine or upgrade, you will find that it's already exists. So if you want to just only, you can type like help like that. It's gonna give you the list, or even -H, it will understand that. So it give you the list of the options under the Nikto. What you, if you do not remember, which we mostly we don't, all the options, you can run under here as well. So what's after the, as you can see, for example, some of those checks and the help, the host, and so on. So Usually, so for me, I do something like that. It give me the same things as well. However, it's feel free to use whatever you actually think it's okay in your term. Now let's scan something which is basic. During in the lab, usually we give you something a demo to do so. You can run scanme.nmap.org, let's say, run that. That's usually sometimes it take longer time, by the way, to because that's a really big website, and that scan me as well. It's actually full of vulnerability, so it may take longer time to execute that. Let's go over the one we want to scan ourselves. That's the 192, the 168, and 58, 138. And let's go here and run the scan for that machine. You can tell every cross sign here represent a vulnerability with different level. So we have problem with the Apache server. We have a problem with, let's see, the Python here, the PHP. We have even problem with OpenSSL. As you can see that if you guys familiar with OpenSSL, sometimes we give you or it give you some sort of coding. Let me just search you for one of them here. The CVE, for example, sometimes they give you some of those CVE ones. That's cookies, PHP admin, the trace. Ah, here it is. For example, that's the one. So if you, most of you, maybe not, I'm not sure, but if you are not familiar with what's that, copy that one, and here it is, just to put it into one of those here. That's gonna give you extra details about that from the Nest website. Just to go over there and see, oh, that's modified after whatever it is. Okay, what is that CVE, that code, whatever the CVE code we give you? This is like 200649. It give you a list of details about that and the solution, the recommended solution for that as well. So what is the vulnerability and what they recommend to fix that type of vulnerability. Okay, so now you actually scan one website. We can scan bunch of websites if we want to run that. Um, Whatever the IP address is, sure, you can put like, for example, 0/24. It's gonna go run for a long time. We don't want that for that short demo. Okay, so what else we can scan? You can scan based on port. So for example, I can put port 80. I just want to scan port 80 only. Can you scan for port 80? Yes, it's going to give you things which is related to port 80, and it will ignore, which is the web services, and it will ignore the rest of the services. That's it. That's it. So that's port 80 only. So what about if I, which for example, include HTTP, let's say. So what about if I want to involve HTTPS? Can I scan for that by itself? Yes, we can. As you can see that, it take a little bit. Here it is, still scanning. Here it is. What about if I want to scan for the 443? and it tell you over here what is the cipher we are using. Can you see that? The cipher, the issuer, and start scanning, and it's going to give you mostly anything related with the 443 port. You can replace that with SSL if you want to, the characters or the letters of SSL. Something like that. Here it is, still continue. And as you can see that we focus here SSL. Open SSL. We usually use those type of commands to limit our option. So sometimes when you scan a real big machine or big server, which has multi-services and application and so on, it may take longer time, really long time to come back to you with full results. So for us to limit that, we ask the Nikto to scan for specific ports, specific services, um, to limit the time, nothing else, and limit the output as well. For the output, I'm going to show you something how to save the output as well, because sometimes like I don't want to read all that, and even I don't have time to read all that. So what the network admin they do, they want to save that file so they can get back to it later for either analysis, for follow up, for whatever it is. So sometimes we need to save those type of output. That's 443. As you can see that it keep going. It hasn't finished, or just only for, as you can see that we're still for, that's PHP admin, as you can see that. Let's terminate that because that's going to take a longer time. So terminate that and let's move to the next one. I can do the same thing over here, and I can put, for example, instead of that, I can put, let's say, SSL like that. And it's going to take as well a couple minutes or so until it's finished, similar to that. Can I save those ones? What we do in that manner, so if I want, so as you can see that the scan on the screen, if I want to save that, what to do? Here it is, very easy. So this is my scan, just put over there out, and let's say um, my last scan.text. Okay, here it is. That's it will scan the 192, 168, 58, 138 using the port or targeting SSL only. Then the output, whatever the output will be, it will goes to a file. And that file, I can get back to it as an output. Let's see that. Here it is. And that's scanning for Mozilla as well. Here, let me terminate that and let's type ls. You can see that we have a file over here called my last scan.txt. If you want to see that, here it is. That's my last scan. So if you want to see what's inside, Just here it is, and that's the output inside the file. As you can see that there is no much here we ask you within labs. I have created you a few screenshots if you want to follow what I do during the tutorial, and if you want as well to practice at the same time I'm typing. Um, that's, I believe, that's mostly what you will face when you come to the university or when you go into the college and you try to practice any entry level of Nikto. I hope that this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Thank you.